So what exactly is a smart city?
Well, it can be all kinds of different things, but there are two basic ideas. One is that the city uses technology to improve the quality of life of the local residents so that they can live more slowly and with less stress. And the second one is that the city itself reacts to problems, rather like a living person would.
Can you give me some examples?
Yes, London is a good example. They have a system where they monitor cars driving into the centre and automatically charge the driver for the time the car spends there. So it cuts down traffic congestion and pollution, but it also means the driver doesn't have to stop and buy a ticket or look for money. So it saves time too. And to use the public transport system, you just need a single card and you can go everywhere with it. So you don't need to spend time queuing for tickets. Or in Dublin, in Ireland, they have a system which monitors traffic congestion, so drivers can avoid streets with traffic jams. And it also tells drivers where they can find a free parking space. Apparently, 30% of traffic congestion in most cities is caused by people looking for parking spaces, so that's a huge saving in time and money.
So the main point of smart cities is to improve the environment?
Yes, but it can take many different forms. It's not just about traffic congestion. For example, there's a new city in the UAE called Masdar. It's in the middle of the desert and the whole city is powered by solar panels. And public transport is electric, so it's a 100% sustainable city. It uses zero energy and there's no air pollution. Or there's another new city in Korea called Sondo, which is planned around a central park. So from all the residential areas, there's a 15-minute walk across the park to get to work. And people can also use the park in their lunch break. I read a report recently that said that green spaces in cities really improve people's mental health. So the park sounds like a great idea.
So it's not just about the environment, it's about urban development in general?
Yes, exactly.
And do you think this is how cities will be in the future?
Oh, I'm quite sure of it. The technology is there already. We're all connected now on the internet, so the next step is to connect the people with the city. And it's already happening very quickly.
Daniela. I think it's a good idea to make cities better places to live because a lot of cities have developed on a kind of American model. In other words, the city centre is taken over by big companies, so there are hardly any shops or people living there. Instead, most people live in big high-rise blocks around the edge of the city, and they go to big shopping centres in their cars. So, it's really good to change that balance and make the city centre a place for people to live. I live in Munich in Germany, and in a number of ways, I think it is a smart city because it's been developed to suit the people who live there. The centre's a pedestrian zone, closed off to traffic. People cycle everywhere, and there are plenty of good cafes and parks and places to sit outside. So you can wander through the city and take your time, and it's nice and quiet. Also, there's a very good public transport system, so people don't need their cars as much.
Richard.
I don't think you have to design a city to make it a nice place to live. I live in Bangkok, the capital of Thailand, and it certainly isn't a planned city. It's just grown naturally. In some ways, it's quite a chaotic city. There are cars everywhere, lots of traffic jams, a lot of noise, and there are very few green spaces where you can sit. So if you want a bit of peace and quiet, forget it. But I love living here. It's so full of life and there are people everywhere. In the street where I live, there are lots of ordinary apartments, plus a few hotels. There's a very good vegetable market, there are quite a few restaurants, and there are people selling things in the street. So there's everything you need, plus lots of traffic, of course. So it certainly isn't a smart city, but it's very exciting to live here.
This is a really good angle. Let's have a look. Oh, that's great. We can use that one in the competition.
What competition?
Didn't you get the email?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
It's called London Architecture in Photographs. It's a free competition. The college said they'll enter our bridge photos.
I'm not sure I could be bothered. Don't really see the point.
Well, the first prize is £500.
OK, that's different. Let's take some more.
Oh, I completely forgot the time I've got to go. I'm meeting Tom at 12.
Why don't you call him, tell him he'll be late?
I can't. We're meeting the estate agent.
Estate agent?
Yeah, we're looking at flats. You know, we want to rent a flat for after we're married.
Oh, right. You better go then.
Yeah, see you later.
Bye. Good luck.
Part 2.
Hi, sorry I'm late. I was taking photos with Tessa.
That's okay. This is Katie West. She's from the estate agent.
Hi, lovely to meet you. I'm Becky.
Very nice to meet you, Becky. Good. So I'll show you the first flat. We have had a lot of interest in this already. As you can see, it's in a great location, right by the shops, close to the station. Follow me.
Great.
Here it is. It's a lovely flat for two people. Not too big, just right for the two of you.
2 rooms and a kitchen.
Yes, 2 rooms, a kitchen and a bathroom.
Okay.
So here's the living room. Quite a good-sized room and a nice view of the street. And here's the second room. It's a bit smaller, but it's perfect as a bedroom. Nice and quiet in here, cosy. And here's the kitchen. Quite practical and, yeah, has everything you need for a kitchen. It's very convenient. I'll leave you to it.
Well, I can see why the price is low.
It's tiny.
Yeah, and too noisy. Right on the main road.
Yeah, and it smells all damp. Horrible.
It's awful.
Oh, dear.
Well, let's see what the next one's like.
So, what do you think?
Yeah, it's nice.
It's lovely, but maybe not quite what we're looking for.
OK.
Part 3.
This one's just come on the market. I think you might like this one better. Have a look round, see what you think.
Thank you. This is a lovely flat. But can we afford it?
Well, with my promotion, I have got a bit more money now.
It really is lovely.
Look, this could be a kind of sitting area by the window.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And we could have some plants and some bookshelves or a big lamp.
That would work well.
And this would make a great dining area. We could have a table and some interesting lights.
Yeah, and I can imagine a big TV right here.
So, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a brilliant flat.
Well, we have had one other inquiry this morning, but if you're definitely interested...
We'll think about it. Can I let you know this afternoon?
Of course, no problem.
Conversation 1.
It's one of these games that involve lying and people try to figure out if you're lying or not, but it's different and really funny.
Oh, I like that kind of thing. Are there teams or something?
Yeah, there are 2 teams with 3 celebs on each team.
3 what?
Celebs. Celebrities.
Oh, right.
There's a team captain on each team. Actually, the team captains are well-known comedians and they're on every show.
So each team has a comedian and 2 celebrities?
Exactly. The first thing they do is to tell a personal story. So a panellist tells a personal story.
Sorry, who tells a story?
A panellist. One of the people on one of the teams.
Oh, I see.
So they tell something about themselves, often something really embarrassing. Now, it might be true or they might be lying. The key thing is to say something that's so unbelievable that it's hard to imagine it's true.
And then they vote?
Not right away. What happens next is the other team grills the storyteller.
They do what?
Grill him. Ask a lot of questions to try and find out if the person's lying.
Yeah, you can tell if someone's lying by how fast they answer.
Well, the panellists are usually very good at it. It's surprising how hard it is to guess. But for me, the best thing is the humour, the joking around. It's really entertaining.
I'll bet I could figure out if they're lying.
Maybe. Anyway, after they finished, the team that asked the questions decide if it was a lie or not. If they're right, they get a point.
What sort of things do they say?
Oh, gosh, all sorts of things. One of my favourites was when a female panellist said she'd kissed one of the other panellists.
And was it true?
I'm not going to tell you. It's on TV tonight. We can watch and you can show me how great you are at saying if someone is lying.
Oh, great.
Conversation 2.
Oh, you must have seen it.
No, I've never even heard of it. How does it work?
Well, it sounds really stupid, but I'll try to describe it. It's basically a race over an obstacle course.
Over a what?
An obstacle course. There are lots of things that they have to climb over and balance on.
Oh, obstacle, got it.
And if they fall off, they fall into water or mud.
Oh, sounds dangerous.
It can be.
So what are the obstacles like?
Well, there are a lot of different ones. There's the sweeper.
Sweeper, like a broom?
Yeah. Basically, the way it works is that 12 of the contestants stand on podiums over water.
They stand where?
On podiums, these tall columns or blocks, like little towers.
And is it hard to balance?
Well, yes, mainly because of the sweeper. It's a big arm, really, and it turns around and around over the podiums. What you have to do is jump over the arm when it gets to you. Then you have to land on the podium without falling down.
And if they get knocked down?
They fall into the water, sometimes quite dramatically. That's the thing I like best, those dramatic falls. The last one standing wins the round.
Sorry, they win what?
The round. That part of the competition.
Oh, so there are more obstacles.
Oh, yeah. It's not just the sweeper. There are lots of different types of obstacles. Tippy tables, teeter-totters, dock maze, crazy beams, donuts.
Wow, donuts, crazy. And how do you win?
The point is to get round the course in the fastest time. The fastest person is the winner.
Sounds quite good fun.
The studio is amazing. They film it in BA. Imagine the UK TV crew.
They film it where?
In BA, Buenos Aires, Argentina.
They fly to Argentina to film this?
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Oh, I'd like to see it.
Excuse me, hello. Sorry to bother you. Have you got a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Do you mind if I ask you some questions? I'm just doing a survey on happiness.
Right.
I'll read out the questions to you and you can just tell me what you think, if that's okay.
Yeah, fine.
Great. Could you look at this list of 5 things? So you've got number 1, car, then 2 is friendship, 3, good food, 4, money, and 5, free time. So which 2 of these would you find it the most difficult to live without?
Which 2 most difficult to live without?
Yes.
Well, I couldn't live without friendship. I'm a very social animal. I need family and friends around me, so it can't be that one. Oh, no, sorry, that is to live without.
That's
yes,
one.
That is one.
Then we just need one more.
Friendship is definitely one of them.
Yes, number 2, okay.
That's difficult. Free time, I don't have any anyway. I could lose the car, I think. That wouldn't be a problem.
How about
Do you
money?
know what? Sad as it is, it's probably money.
Money,
because
yeah, most
money
people
actually,
think.
leads to happiness in indirect ways, I think.
Okay, so I'm going to put number 2 and number 4 for that one. And also, how happy would you say you are on a scale of 1 to 5? 5 being very happy.
Today or just generally?
I think generally.
Oh, generally, okay. 3 or 4. 3.5.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Well, you made me laugh. I'll have 4.
Oh, lovely. I'll put you down for 4. And what would you say is missing from your life? So what would make you happier?
Probably working nearer to home.
Okay.
That's, I think, just generally the time that would give me
Right.
with family.
So maybe
and
it's
to do
free
things.
time then,
Yeah.
more of that. Okay, that's lovely. Thank you ever so much for taking part. Really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye-bye.
Matthew Walker researches how you spend around a third of your life.
I'm a sleep scientist.
Actually, one of the world's leading sleep scientists. At the root of sleep science lies a puzzle. All these hours lying down, eyes shut. Why? Why do we sleep? It's not just that it seems a monumental waste of time.
Sleep actually seems to be the most idiotic of all things that human beings could do, because when you're asleep, you're not finding a mate, you're not reproducing, you're not caring for your young, you're not finding food. And in fact, it's been suggested that if sleep doesn't serve an absolutely vital function, then it's the biggest mistake the evolutionary process has ever made.
Managing 8 hours shut-eye is for me just a dream. And it turns out I'm not alone. There's evidence that in many parts of the developed world we're sleeping less and less. A poll in 1942 found Americans were sleeping 8 hours a night.
Now, on a recent National Sleep Foundation survey, what they found was that the average adult in America was down to sleeping 6 hours and 31 minutes a night. In the United Kingdom, it was 6 hours and 49 minutes. Japan, perhaps the worst, down to 6 hours and 22 minutes.
Only 10% of Japanese adults, according to this survey, were getting 8 hours or more.
Good morning, this is Diana Speed welcoming you to the network and reminding you that if you've forgotten that the clocks went forward last night, so the time is now 5:20 on Sunday the 29th of March. And today will be...
Researchers have studied what happens in countries after clocks are adjusted in spring and autumn.
What they found was that in the spring, when we lose 1 hour of sleep, there was a 24% relative increase in heart attacks the following day. Whilst in the autumn, in the fall, when we gain an hour of sleep, there was actually a 21% reduction in relative heart attack rates.
When the clocks go forward and we lose an hour's sleep, there are also more hospital admissions and more car accidents. It also turns out that during sleep, we're able to reorganise information in the brain, rather as though we were putting together the components of an IKEA furniture pack. And when we wake up, eureka! Every language has a variation of the English phrase sleep on it, sleep on the problem.
Dormici su.
मैं उस समस्या को टालने वाली हूँ.
Ранок покаже, що вечір не скаже.
मैं इस मसले के साथ सोने लगी हूँ.
La nuit porte conseil.
Yeah, I think there's probably a reason that no one has ever told you to stay awake on a problem.
I read this article the other day about how much exercise we should do. It recommended 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week, which sounds about right to me. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I agree with you up to a point, but it depends, doesn't it? I mean, it depends on your age, your general health, and whether or not you're sporty. For most people, I'd say about an hour a day is enough to keep you fit and healthy. That's what I do, and I enjoy it.
An hour a day? That's a lot if you ask me.
Do you think so? It depends what kind of exercise, I guess. In my opinion, there's a big difference between, say, walking for an hour and playing football for an hour. So if you're doing a contact sport like football or basketball, you might only want to do that, say, 2 or 3 days a week. But you can easily do moderate exercise every day, like walking or jogging or swimming.
Yeah, that's a good point. Not all exercise is equal. But I completely disagree with you that everyone needs to do an hour a day. That's way too much for most people.
I know what you mean. Most people would find it hard to fit in exercise every day, but I'm talking about an ideal number. So, how much exercise do you do?
What, you mean vigorous exercise? Sweating and getting out of breath?
Yeah.
None.
Really?
Yeah, but remember, I'm on my feet all day at work, aren't I? So I don't have the stamina to spend my evenings running around as well.
Oh, I see your point.
I know in theory I should go to the gym and all that stuff, but on the other hand, I think doing too much exercise is just as bad as doing too little.
True.
I do a physical job, and I'm exhausted by the evening. As far as I'm concerned, if you do physical work during the day, you don't need to go to a gym or do anything else.
That's a fair point. Although it could also be argued that you just need a different type of exercise, like stretching or yoga or something to help you relax.
No thanks. That's what the TV's for.
Well, you could at least kick a ball around every now and then, or walk the dog.
I couldn't agree more. But I don't have a dog.